of those problems. The blockchain itself is a distributed architecture, so it plays well to the distributed nature of both the geography and the financial service providers, number one. And number two is because it's distributed and doesn't rely on a central authority or a centralized infrastructure, the economics, at least on paper, play well to the economic viability that we were looking for, and so that's how we started with the blockchain. And the third problem, I won't let you forget the third challenge, and that was getting people digitally onboarded. But let me explain to you via a ridge of the blockchain, the benefits of the blockchain, but then address that third problem. So one of our first projects that we created on the blockchain is called Eye to Eye, and Eye to Eye stands for institution to institution, individual to individual, island to island. I already mentioned the over 7,000 islands. I mentioned hundreds and then thousands of non-banking financial institutions. And then, of course, the most important of them all, and that's the over 100 million people who live in the Philippines. So we used the blockchain to create a distributed, real-time, automated clearinghouse. Then what we did is we onboarded the community-based financial institutions to participate in this network. And so, these institutions themselves have traditionally been excluded from the larger financial systems of the country, and it's usually because of economics and technical capability. So we had a fully web-based managed service on the back of blockchain that took both the need for technological capability and for economics off the table in a very positive way. So we were able to onboard, hundreds of financial institutions that were maybe too small to participate in the larger centralized clearinghouses. But we were also at the same time to open that up to a whole new generation of community-based non-banking financial service providers to join this network. And because they're in the community, they are extremely well placed to onboard the many millions of people to this digital platform. Leveraging the community-based financial institutions in a blockchain-based network, we are able to reach the farthest reaches of the country. And imagine, because of Eye to Eye, and because we connect Eye to Eye through our relationship with Union Bank to the financial payment systems, the centralized financial payment systems of the country. Today, someone in the most remotest island of the Philippines can go to their community-based financial service provider, and literally in real time and digitally, they can move funds or make a payment to anyone else on the network, including making a payment to, for example, a supplier in Metro Manila directly into their bank account at a large universal bank. And so that's what we've made possible by leveraging on the blockchain and leveraging on the de facto network of community-based financial service providers in the country.
I think this is a very good segue to speak about, Cardano clearly. So what announcement do you have to make today on what UBX is doing with Cardano?
Well, I'm very UBX staking, and UBX as a wholly owned subsidiary of Union Bank of the Philippines, we will, as far as I understand it, we will be the first regulated institution running a staking pool on the Cardano platform. So that's what I'm very excited to announce today. But maybe it would be equally exciting to share what we think this means for us. So by running the staking pool, we are participating directly in the Cardano infrastructure. We're participating directly in the consensus protocol of the blockchain. But the bigger picture for us is it will allow us a platform upon which to innovate and to support the innovation of others when it comes to financial applications, decentralized finance, and the kind of financial inclusion that we are trying to drive. For example, based on our eye-to-eye story that I just shared. And so that's the bigger picture for us. We want to participate directly in the infrastructure, but this is just the start for us. On top of this, we will be building financial applications, use cases, and decentralized finance applications and use cases that will positively and materially impact the kind of opportunity and access that we are trying to drive by including many, many people who are currently unbanked or underbanked in the Philippines.
So, John, you bring up a lot of interesting points to actually follow up on. And regulated financial institution operations. So, by running a stable, you are in effect running a block producing node and assuming integrations with decent infrastructure. So, from a risk perspective, how do you actually view this? The fact that you are having part of your critical applications on an asset structure that is not fully owned by the bank itself or by UBX?
Yeah, so we have, three things. Number one, we are leveraging on our experience with the blockchain. So we've been involved with other blockchain platforms and protocols in the past, including all of the popular ones like Bitcoin and Ethereum. So number one is we have experience, we have comfort with blockchain in general. And we have built already, prior to joining with Cardano, we have built other use cases and applications. So number one, we have experience, we have comfort. In the scope of that experience and comfort, we, as a regulated institution, we have worked with the regulator, from socializing what we're doing all the way to having central bank approved blockchain-based applications like Eye-to-Eye, like PHX, which is a Philippine peso denominated stablecoin approved by the central bank, and including other innovations like through our investment in the Philippine Digital Asset Exchange, we partnered with PDAX to launch bonds.ph last year, which was a blockchain-enabled platform that allowed ordinary Filipinos to participate in the purchase of retail sovereign bonds from the government of the Philippines. So number two is on top of our experience and working through all of the problems that would allow us to feel secure. We have also worked with the regulator every step of the way. So that is the second part of it. And the third part of it is we see the blockchain as where innovation in the future will take place. So to be quite honest with you, there is some innovation that occurs on top of centralized payment systems and clearinghouses, but we see much, much more innovation occurring